Well, let's look closer at Collingwood versus Hawthorn, and we've appointed some coaches. It's been the week of appointing coaches, and Lloyd, you've been appointed the Hawthorn coach.
And
so
I'll have to disinfect myself after this, boys. I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm on the Hawks.
All right, what we want you to do is come up with 3 points for how the Hawks should go about taking on the Pies.
And the first one is, I think the Pies and Darren Jolly, he loves just tapping it down to his feet. For Ball and Wellingham and Dane Swan on the tough players. So third men up. They're one of the best teams out at Hawthorn. Hodge, Jordan, Lewis. They love going third, getting it out of that area where Jolly likes to tap it. And this one was ideal. This one, Jordan Lewis over the back to Hodgie, running onto it. That's what they've got to do as much as possible against Collingwood and Darren Jolly. The next play, we'll see that one last time. And we've got a graphic just to show these stats. Third man up, Hawthorn, equal for the year. So the midfielders love doing it to support Bailey. And then you see Lewis and Hodge in the top 4, third man up in the competition. The next one's pretty obvious. Gibson on Cloak. He's the go-to man. It's pretty obvious, but Cloak, he's pretty much their game plan. Get to Travis Cloak, 60 metres out, and everyone feeds off him. They're small, Crummers, Cracker. You've got Didak for Solo when he does play. So Gibson, we know he's the spoiling king. He's just got to get the ball to ground and try and stop Cloak from taking those contested marks. That's a huge factor. And here's the matchup graphic. 63 goals for Travis Cloak. He's had the year of his life, and so is Gibson, very stiff to miss out on All-Australian. But he needs help, and I think Stratton back in the team makes a big difference. And the third point, Hawthorn cannot be too buddy conscious. So for them to win, they need other options. And I think that last week we saw Osborne and Rioli and a number of players. Piopolo kicked 3 or 4 goals, so they need that to happen. They have to play through Leon Davis. They have to play through Nick Maxwell. They can't keep bombing long to Buddy, because Reid and Tarrant will go to town on that. So I think they're 3 key areas for the Hawks to win.
All right, that's Lloydie's thoughts. Gee, we're going to get you to adjudicate on how these two go as coaches.
I liked Lloydie in that polo, though. He looked quite smart.
Well, 50,000 Hawthorn members didn't. Anyway.
Scotty, you're taking the role of the Collingwood coach, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't be too hard to coach this team, I can tell you that right now. I reckon the first thing they got to do is obviously keep Buddy and Cyril to 5 between them.
Whose body's that?
That was me just taken this morning. Obviously, you got to keep these 2 guys away from the pill. I want to see someone test Cyril physically, really get down and make it hard for him. Every time he touches the footy tackle, you got to wear Buddy on his stand on Buddy's left shoulder at all times, and just someone, they're going to tag Tarrant and Reid to go with Franklin, and basically just make sure that he doesn't get too much footy. He really covered a lot of the ground last week. He was down the half-back line, through the middle, and obviously just on the end of 4 very handy goals. Second point, isolate their defenders. As you saw there in all the vision there of Josh Gibson, loves it being around a big congested group. If you just try to get me words out, if you isolate it, make it one-on-one contests, then they're very susceptible back line. And you have a look at the ease that players, they get uncontested marks when they're one-on-one. Gibson lets his defender go at the footy. When he's in a pack situation, he's a lot better, but one-on-one, he can be cut up. And gee, if you can't see that, then you don't know footy. I don't think I even need to waste my time with the third point, because I got this one in the bag. But Collingwood, I reckon they just got to lift their pressure, get back to early in the year when they really went hard at Hawthorn. I know Hawthorn had a depleted team in, but their pressure was phenomenal. That's what won them a flag last year, was their pressure, their hunting in numbers. They hunted the ball and the ball carrier. They've got to get back to doing that as good as possible. Simple as that. Have a look at this. This is what I've been mentioning too, with the tackling pressure early in the year.
PowerPoint presentation going, Scotty?
Yeah, this is just too easy, really. I mean, I just put this up and let it speak for itself. 73 tackles per game early. It's just dropped off to 63 in the last couple of weeks. But the reason they have to beat him, 70% efficiency, Hawthorn on the kick, and that's #1 in the competition. Have a look at all those. They're #1. So you give them the footy, they're going to absolutely carve you up, so you've got to keep the footy out of their hands.
Has he still got the players' attention, G, do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about delivery. It's all about delivery.
How was that?
You started a bit.
I got congested. I had a bit of trouble with congested. It's not really that hard a word either.
As you said, though, it's pretty easy to coach that side. And what you said about the effective kicks, I think that's crucial. Hawthorn, that's their game plan. They want to try and get through a zone that way, but in round 15, Collingwood didn't allow them to do that. I think Hawthorn does it against probably the sides from 6 down. but when they come against the really good sides, they struggle to use that kicking efficiency. So
who wins, boys? Who wins?
I think usually there's one prelim final that's a blowout and there's one that's close. I think this one's going to be the blowout and Collingwood's going to win.
So that was me. I won.
No, that doesn't.
Lloyd was a better coach, but you
Lloyd, who do you think wins?
No, I agree with G. I had to sell it for the Hawks, but I think he's spot on. They're first in kicking efficiency because of the way they kick the footy short most of the time, and I think Collingwood love that, and I reckon they'll pick it apart and be too good.